Shady Grove Fertility is part of a larger organization, US Fertility. US Fertility is an umbrella company that has a lot of brands under it. The vision for all of the practices is to have fertility and reproductive medicine reach as many people as we can. There are a lot of people that need it. And with Shady Groves and all of the other brands across the country, we're able to reach a larger population. Specifically, fertility is a complicated and stressful experience for our patients. You know, a lot of times design is seen as frivolous, but in this line of work, it has a direct impact not only on our patients, but on our staff and how long staff will stay with us if they enjoy the space they're in. So design in my life is important in that way. I like to help women and make a difference in their daily life.
Healthcare design is really like a passion to serve and make a difference in the world kind of practice, right? And so Shady Grove Fertility, like many IVF providers, are, changing lives and making dreams come true. 1 in 6 people are faced with infertility, so the chances that you know somebody are pretty high. They're making the dream of having a family a reality for many people, and it feels amazing to serve a client like that.
In working with Shady Grove Fertility and the design of their facilities, our mission is to provide that high level of patient-centered design at most for these individuals that are going through these sensitive times and exhausting situations in their life. Being able to be at the forefront of that process by offering a calming environment for these individuals right as they walk through the doors is the reason why I do what I do and why I love what I do. It starts at the front doors.
We strive to create the space which is always functional, but also we can promote the people's well-being. I think that's very important for us. Fertility clinic design is a little bit special because I think it's definitely a rough journey for women and their families. So as a women designer, I really hope that I can support them with this journey, with my skill set.
The majority of these facilities are anywhere from 5,000 to 25,000 square feet. The majority of them are tenant fit outs in existing buildings, which then come with their own challenges.
We have the clinical area, which has exam rooms, private consultation rooms, and all of the staff support spaces for that. But then moving over to the second area, you have the procedure suite, which includes the procedure rooms, the IVF laboratory, and all the staff support spaces for that.
I'm supporting the team to select the interior finishes and the applications, especially they're expanding so many different locations throughout the US, and we are trying to ensure that we carry through the SGF branding and color schemes, the design taste throughout all the locations. I think the challenge here is each facility is so different. The scope will be different. Some of the facility, they will just be the ASC, which is the surgery center, and some of the facility will be the combination of the exam consultation with the treatment and procedures. Different locations, different shape, size of the buildings of different projects. I think the challenge part is how we carry through the same thing throughout all these different parts. It feels like it evolves as we keep going designing these projects because we always want to provide the better designs, no matter for the end users or for the clients.
As a project manager for these projects, it's my responsibility to make sure that the high level of patient-centered design and level of detail is carried through from start to finish. But what I love about these projects is it doesn't ever stop at the punch list, is we continuously get feedback from not just the client, but the end users that we are able to then use to ever evolve our projects moving forward.
The layout is very critical to the operations and the safety of the embryos. It's very important to understand the spaces that need to be directly accessible off of the IVF lab and what levels of security you need to have at every door, right? Because there are some doors that you can easily pass through, but there are some doors that need to be secure, whether it's during the day or even at night, to allow for restrictions for staff going in and out of spaces. So that's a pretty important part of what we do in our layout of these facilities.
Some of the creative solutions that we have incorporated into the Shady Grove facilities are the use of natural wood look materials, something that I personally love. We use vertical and horizontal slats throughout the entire scope. The use of the vertical slats is a way to separate our spaces throughout our scope of work, not just for privacy for the patients, but for a more private visibility standpoint from the staff members.
Fertility treatment can be intensely personal, and we would like to ensure the privacy is out of the most importance. Consult rooms and exam rooms are the spaces where the patients will have the open and confidential conversations with the healthcare providers. And for this type of the private rooms, we will utilizing the soothing aesthetics, soft lightnings, and calming artwork to create a boutique style, make the patient feel safe, relaxing, and make the whole process more inviting.
We want our patients to walk into the space and feel hope and confidence. We do this through a couple different things. Very strategic layout is one, and then a one-way flow through the space. And along that patient experience, there are sub-waiting areas that have some screening methods that allow for them to wait in between all of their appointments privately, but without feeling isolated. For every different patient, the experience is different. Some people are a little bit more public about it, and some people just wanna kind of focus on their own path, right? So we try to allow for the architecture to kind of speak to that.
Other design concepts that we have gone through and implemented are the use of different types of flooring materials. We use carpets that are inlaid into the flooring that look like rugs to give a more warm and homey feel for those patients that are waiting in the waiting rooms. We also use those in consultation rooms, our private consultation rooms. One of the biggest things that I love that we have incorporated through the entire scope of work for our projects is the use of decorative lighting, taking that institutionalized lighting that you typically find in clinical environments away and replacing it with more ambient, more calming, more soothing types of lighting. And the reason why we do that is so that we can turn the lighting above off and be able to create that ambiance and that calming environment for the patients that are in the rooms going through sensitive times.
We wanted to create an elevated, calming environment and experience for the patients. It's not like the patients can find just the medical care here. It's also they can find a sense of the community or connection, and also they can find the support from here. We use this compassion as a touch point when we make every design decisions. So during the design process, we will emphasize to the natural elements, like using the natural lighting to have the intuitive wayfinding for the patients, and it also will promote the efficiency for the health providers, and also using the soothing color palette, the soft artwork, more flexible furniture arrangement to help to make this go happen.
Along with our engineering consultants, we understand the complexity that goes along with the IVF lab, the adjacent spaces, and everything that goes into those spaces. This includes finishes, mechanical systems, furniture, even just the layout of the lab is very important and critical to their operations. You know, April, as the Shady Grove representative, the amount of effort that she puts into these projects is almost unprecedented, in my opinion, as a client. Another part of April's job is to select artwork. So going back to that patient experience, Shady Grove Fertility utilizes artwork throughout their entire space to contribute to kind of that empowerment, patient empowerment. And they're all strategically placed throughout the entire space for patients while they're waiting to look at something that makes them feel good. And I honestly believe that everything that is done along that process is done with purpose and passion, for sure.
Shady Grove has worked so well with us to remove that institutionalized clinical feeling from their projects and be able to execute such a warm, welcoming, and comforting environment.
We all have the same goal, and we all want to deliver the best possible project for the patient and for the staff that's basically serving them. I definitely think that's the thing that we should be most proud of, is that relationship that we've built over time with many of these clients. So
it's clients like Shady Grove Fertility that give me the motivation and the dedication and the drive to continue doing what I do. It's clients like Shady Grove Fertility that make me love my job.
We have such a great team. Everyone is so supportive. The client is so supportive as well.
I have been working with E4H for the last decade. The team is knowledgeable, experienced. They really understand my vision and what I think is important. I always have somebody I can reach out to, always somebody that's going to help me make the best decision possible. I feel very supported, and I hope that we can continue making lots of amazing design spaces throughout the country.
Projects like Shady Grove Fertility impact our communities by offering access to reproductive health services and giving those couples who are having trouble with infertility a chance to have a family.
they're doing amazing things like every single day, right? I mean, they're just making dreams come true. It gives us purpose in what we do every day. And so, yeah, I think they're amazing. We have amazing clients.
Without the patients, we wouldn't be here. The focus on their happiness in the space and their experience is probably the most important.
One of the things that empowers me the most when working on these projects is listening to the stories, reading the stories, hearing the stories and situations that family members going through, listening to their emotion. It makes me emotional when listening to some of the situations that they've been through. And these are facilities that they're not your typical clinical facilities. You're not just going there because you schedule a doctor's appointment on Monday at 12 o'clock and you're doing a routine check and you're back in here. These are facilities that women are going to weekly, monthly, and these are also facilities that are providing hope.
Being able to serve providers like that it's a pretty amazing thing. I do believe that what they're doing really makes a difference for a lot of people.